The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. I'm Danny Brewer. I am better than a buttermilk biscuit this morning because I'm on the Coaches Show once again, and I'm joined now by Vergne head football coach Mike Woodward. Coach Mike, how are you?
I'm good, Danny. How are you?
Well, we're doing great. It's a wonderful August morning. We got a little bit of rain this morning. We needed it. I'm sure the football field needed it, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. Luckily we got it mowed just before the rain came in, so it definitely could use a little bit of water.
Coach, how many years have you been at Vergne?
This is year 8. It'll be my 5th year as a head coach, but my 8th year overall being there.
Let's talk a little bit about the building of the Wolverines during your time there. There's been some good players who have come and gone through there. Talk a little bit about the building process that you've been through and the building process that you're hoping to go through.
It's just, I guess it's like anywhere else. Kids are moving around so much. You talk about building, and the biggest thing nowadays is keeping kids happy so that they're staying there. That's been the biggest thing for us. And this year's group I'm real excited about because I feel like we got a good mixture in terms of our classes, sophomores, juniors, seniors. We're not counting heavily on just one particular class. We're pretty inexperienced in terms of starters, but really good kids who are coming in and working really hard. And, I feel like the youth has gotten better over the last few weeks. Just looking at us against Franklin 2 weeks ago and then last night against Lebanon, you can see where there's improvement coming. And, we enjoy working with them every day, and we're excited about, things we can do this season.
Coach, I think that one of the things that you've always done at Vergne is invest. We just talked about Lee Colvin with investments. You have been very invested in the program, and you've been a great example to your team. Is it tougher in this climate getting kids to invest, you think?
To an extent, yeah, I would agree with that. It's very much a instant gratification world right now, so sometimes it's hard to sell kids on the fact that, it's going to take time to turn things around. We weren't happy with how it finished last year. We had every intention of making the playoffs and ended up a game short. So it's just, getting those guys to understand that, we focus on doing things the right way and being a family and, getting better each week and putting team before individuals. And, I think we're building it that way. Like I said, we don't have egos on this team. They were so excited last night. We did a jamboree with Lebanon, and our freshmen won their portion of it, and our older guys were just so excited for them, which is exciting for me because I know now we've got a group invested in program more so than individual.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the season that was. I know that it didn't turn out the way you wanted, but I think that the greatest thing about last season was you guys made some adjustments. Things weren't going necessarily the way you wanted them to. You made some adjustments, and you gave yourself an opportunity to be there. And of course, it didn't work out. But talk about the ability to adapt and what you did last year as far as changing a few things to try to make things better for everybody.
Yeah, so, last year we were really struggling on the offensive side, and, midway through or a little bit past the midway point, we completely changed the offensive scheme and went from, what is, I guess now what everybody does, where you're in gun and running power and zone and throwing to going under center and running triple option. And, that offense is very tough to learn if you've got a full off season, let alone trying to do it mid-season. But our guys really jumped on board with it, and we ended up finishing, those last 4 games. We went 2-2, and 3 of those 4 games were against teams that did make the playoffs. So, we were happy about the fact that we were able to, keep fighting through the tough times in the middle part of the season and finish on a strong note. And it was really huge for these young guys because now they were excited going into the offseason. Like the quarterback we have now was a sophomore last year, and he couldn't wait. I mean, he was asking to look at film clips from the offseason. He was asking questions, wanted to make sure we were going to stay with triple option, and he was excited. The guys were excited. So having that success at the end of the year, even though, like I said, we fell one game short of what we wanted to do, it really helped us going into the offseason.
Well, let's talk about that offseason, the summer that was. Obviously that's a time for learning, growing, getting stronger, bigger, all that kind of stuff. Talk about what happened this summer for Wolverine football.
So made some changes to our off-season program, in terms of our conditioning and really focused. We went more alignment-specific type stuff for those guys and skill-type specific instead of, the old like traditional college conditioning tests and all those things. We really focused on agility, flexibility, and short burst explosion. And I think it's really helped us just looking at our conditioning level through these first two scrimmages because we've gone, more reps for starters than normal because of our inexperience, and our guys have held up really well. So, we're excited about that. And it's really with this type of offense, it's just being patient. As a coach, you've got to be patient and not try to put too much in. You've got to make sure they understand, the basics for triple option. The quarterback's got to be able to read two different dudes who we are leaving unblocked, intentionally. O-line have to know their rules. The backs, you've got to be very specific with the pass they are on and the timing with the motions. So, for me, it's been great because it's something different and, something that I put a lot of time studying in, and then just being patient with those guys and drilling home the importance of, just the small things that may seem minor or unimportant, but can really affect the play in a positive way or a negative way, depending on the timing.
Coach, how many years have you been coaching football?
This is year 28 coaching football.
So, and the why I ask this question is, so we've got this fresh approach with what you changed last year, and you go into this year. So, does that help you maybe a little bit? I mean, because you've got freshness, there's something a little bit change, a little spice in there. Does that maybe help you? I mean, I know you do this because you love it, but still, does it maybe turn the gas burner up a little bit more on the stove, having some different stuff?
It really has been. It really has been a little bit of a rejuvenation for me because there's no, doing this new offense that it's not possible for me to just get complacent or relax and say, well, I've done this before. This is what's done before. Like there is no before. So, just constantly learning and studying and, and sometimes it's just thinking about new ways to teach, that same skill set. So it's not even necessarily looking for new plays or anything of that nature. Sometimes it's just finding out different drills and different ways to get that same idea across to help the guys get better.
And also being a little bit different, I mean, that's okay because like you said, how many teams run the same doggone offense and you guys are different? That's good, right?
I think it's good for us. You look at the last few years when, let's just be honest, we've been doing the same thing offensively as everybody else, the same thing defensively as everybody else, and it hasn't turned into, the success we wanted on the field. So, we took a different approach. Like I said, we changed how we did things this offseason. We're running an offensive scheme that, to my knowledge, the only other 6A team in the area that runs it is Independence, so it's not something people see a lot of. And defensively, we've gone to a 3-3 stack, which maybe isn't as uncommon as triple option is, but, it's still not as common a defense as what a lot of other people run.
Well, Coach, I personally, I'll say hats off to you because if things aren't working, then you need to try to do something different. You can't do the same thing and expect success, right? If it's not working, it's not working.
I mean, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. So.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Who y'all open up with?
We're going to West Creek next week.
Excited about that? I know you played them at home last year and got off the schneid. I think 9-6 was the final, so it was a defensive battle. But excited to go on the road maybe to open up things up this year?
I am. I mean, we're excited about just, playing a game for real, to be honest with you. I mean, last night was a nice, pick up from, the scrimmage before when we played Franklin, just because it was more game-like, but, it still wasn't a game, so we're very excited about, having a game next week. Yeah, I've never minded going on the road, so, to me, I mean, that's where the strong teams really show, because, you're on that bus or you're in that cramped up visitor locker room or visitor space, and it's just you against everybody else. And I mean, that's when you find out, just how tight your group is. And like I said, I think this group is tight. So, very excited to get to work on Monday and get ready for West Creek. It was a defensive battle last year. And, they got a new coach, and, so they're probably doing some things differently. Haven't had a chance to see them yet. Obviously, we're doing things differently. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck. We appreciate your time. If you want to see some good football, then the triple option, something that's a little bit different, go down there to Wolverine Country and check those Wolverines out. Coach, appreciate it. Wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you, Danny.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is